Okay, there we go. Welcome to the stream, peeps. It's just a short one tonight. I've been doing a lot of work, so I wanted to like just take a moment and just do whatever. It's just mostly hang out. I don't think I'm gonna get anything like amazing done tonight, but if you just want to hang out and watch me just like vibe a little bit with art, you're welcome to just hang out. So let's go to the media room. I needed to window count. God damn it. There we go. I'm gonna move it over here. I want to try something out. So I'm trying. I need to plan out my there we go. Yeah, I think this is good. Hey sis, welcome to the stream. Okay. All right, let me get the canvas ready. You guys can't hear the music, can you? Here we go. Also, I need to skip the, hold on. Filters. I guess I gotta lower more. There we go. I can lean closer. There we go. Perfect. 今夜ようこそみんな今日の書き方が Should have a redeem for Ikemen voice. I need to make sure to hydrate. Okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna make a new canvas. New sketch. Okay. So first off, I'm just gonna start with. Oh, you know what? Let me bring up her design. Where is she? There she is. Okay. It's kind of like a Kingdom Hearts character a bit. Okay. All right. I'm gonna put this over here. So, okay, I'm just gonna make the basic body. So that I can iterate. Man, I'm literally dual wielding you with the power wash right now. I saw that she's streaming with Gura. I will probably just watch the VOD. I mean, I didn't want to put off not streaming because I haven't streamed like all week, even though, oh yeah, I haven't streamed all week, even though I wanted to stream earlier in the week, but I've been just doing so much work that I decided that like I would rather just stream closer to the end of the week when there's less workload, or at least I can go easy on myself. Because I'm working. Can I show, like, let me show you in a comm that I'm working on. Let's let's see here. Nope. So I'm working on this one for Kura, and I have such a long list, and I've been just working. But yeah, tomorrow I plan to stream sorcery, so that's exciting. That's gonna be fun. I do want to do like a little bit of voice acting tomorrow, and I think for Friday sorcery is great because if I can't stream on the weekend, at least I stream twice. Like I want to stream more, but I don't want it to be like a burden for myself because I'm like super excited with my art and the stuff that I've been making lately. Like I'm on like a roll, and I'm just like I've been knocking like a drawing a day and stuff. So I'm just like super hyped. Not too much, but I was taking voice acting lessons, and I need to pick that up again. The game Jerem is playing, yeah. Sorcery! No, how does he do it? Steve Jackson sorcery! Yeah, he does it like that or something like that. Some such. I like that people literally beg him to do that voice every time he does the stream, and I was just like, please do it. Yeah, streaming's my hobby, and so is cooking. I want to buy a handy cam once I have like enough money, because I want to buy a decent one. Hey Vitality, welcome to the stream. Once I have like a bit of cash saved up, I'm gonna buy like a decent handy cam and do like a cooking stream, because it would be fun to combine two of my favorite hobbies. Because generally, like a lot of people ask me like, why don't I stream art so often? And it's because it's kind of hard to explain. Like it would make sense. I draw, like I should stream more art. And because streaming's like a hobby, it would be great because then I can combine two things that I love doing. But it's just hard when you like want to decompress from like drawing art all day, and you're just like, I kind of just want to play games or like do something different. Because like when you're working all day, doing like the same thing, and you're just like, well, I don't know. Then the hobby, like I love streaming art, don't get me wrong. Like I know that people love watching me draw and like learning stuff. And I'm always like hoping I can teach people stuff. But at the same time, it's like sometimes like combining something that I do for decompressing kind of takes the wind out of it. So it's tough sometimes, because then I'll sit down and it's like, do I really want to stream? And I would stream more art, like I would stream like work, but I don't live in a household at the moment where or like at least in a position where I can stream in the morning and the afternoons, because I would just stream my work. I would sit down on Picardo and just stream drawing, whatever it is that I'm doing, game design or character design for projects and stuff. But at the moment, it's like I can only fathom on streaming at night because it's quiet, zero distractions, and I can just kick back and just like literally turn off my brain. Also, I'm speaking of VTubers, I don't know that she's here or not, but my so today just spends money to come out. Yeah, that's the thing though. And honestly, like, I'm like, a lot of people are like, oh, you should definitely stream on Twitch because you're monetized, and you should take advantage of that and whatnot, and like you should work towards monetizing on YouTube. And my problem is, like, I'm in no rush to be monetized on YouTube. And yeah, it's another source of revenue, but it's also like, if I start being monetized, I'm gonna start getting worried if my streams are copyright and whatnot, and then like it's gonna be another job. So I'm in like, if I get monetized, I get monetized, right? That's fine. But at the same time, it's like I'm gonna be in a position where like I'm worried about it making money or whatever. And it's also like, I've applied a few times to like VTuber agencies, but I'm glad I didn't get picked, because their demands are like absurd sometimes, where like you gotta stream 3 times, they're gonna, you know, you gotta work your schedule around the other guys, and so like I can't, like, 2 days a week is fine for me, but 3 days a week, like I have so much work. Like, speaking candidly, like I manage one project on my own. I'm working, I picked up a huge collaborative project that I am like heading, supposedly, right? And then I have commissions that I'm doing. I have a day job, which I work for a video game company, and I do designs and stuff. Not like hired, of course, just I'm a contractor, but it's still like, I still treat it like it's my day job. I like, there's stuff I get done in the morning, so that like in the afternoon I can do my own stuff. But then, you know, it's a lot. So, you know, when I find time to stream, it's I usually just want to play games, and I do have like the commission streams, and those are fine, but it's also like sometimes when I do them I get a little stressed, because like I want to deliver something good, but I'm also like doing like what VTubing is supposed to be, like my hobby or whatever, where like I get to meet people, I get to hang out, then I'm just like putting it into work. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I think you guys might get the idea. So like when you put these two things together, it's like, ah, shit. You know, I live in fear of like waking up and this just feels like a chore. And like whenever I think of like, oh, I'm gonna stream today, like it has to be exciting. Like me doing this like design stuff is simple, and like it excites me, because it's like, oh, it's just preparation for like a big piece I want to do for Crony. Like this isn't commissioned or anything. This is just me doing it on my own volition. But it has to be chill. It's like it's something where I can zone out. Like me doing VTubing and stuff, I met some cool people. Work equals stress, hobby equals fun. Yeah, it has to be fun. Yeah, that's about it. Of course, like hobbies can be monetized, but it's like I don't want to get to the point where I am worried about monetization, doing things right. I can just like, I can afford to be lazy with streaming. Like it's a funny haha, and like, and I'm not like, it's fine if I don't end up putting the work, like, because I'm not like, I don't want streaming to be my career or like a thing necessarily. Like if I get popular because of streaming, which I doubt it'll happen, it just has to come out naturally, where people are just willing to come and hang out. And I think most people that come is because of my art, not because I'm like this like highly entertaining, like this guy's the next Germa, dude. Like, nah, I'm not high energy. I'm just I'm just a horse on the internet, and I draw, and like you come hang out if you want. Take care. Not much. I'm just drawing a little bit. Yeah, no. My income source is art. I need to stop worrying about the anatomy so much. I think the important thing is getting the body right. So her arm, yeah, this. Hey Tab. Oh, Zodi. Hey Zodi, welcome to the stream. Thank you, Fatality. Yeah, I like one of my favorite streams ever is the Shrek stream. That shit, that's kind of like why I wanted to pick up stream. Not necessarily because I wanted to torture myself with horrible games. More just like we all had fun, like just putting together the puzzle that was the Shrek games. Like that stuff's fun. Like just discovering like weird shit like that and just like hanging out and just like, yeah, wasn't that weird? Also, on that vein, whenever I feel like, I do a lot of like, I wouldn't even call it practicing, but I do try, like I do a lot, I do talk to myself a lot, just doing voices and stuff. Maybe like to just practice a little bit of voice acting. Whenever I feel bad or weird that I'm doing that, I always remember that I've caught my brother like doing terrible Goofy and Mickey Mouse impressions to himself. So I remember when I clipped you going and said, yeah, that like I wasn't the same after that. Okay. Crony has white hips. I've seen clips of her 3D model. Girls got back. Drawing videos can be, yeah, that is true. And you're not backseating, you're just making a suggestion. That's fine. Yeah, you know what I've been debating doing, like, I do want to do like those like videos that Clip Studio does, where like you can start what's it called? Oh my god, brain, please. You can do time lapse with Clip Studio Paint. So I was thinking that would be something you could do. Or I mean, not you, I could do. It's just that every time I start a drawing, I just forget. So it's not on purpose that I haven't done it at this point. It's just that I'm literally too stupid to remember. Yeah, I also want to do like short videos, like 2-3 minute videos talking about just shit I like. Like, I don't know, like I can be like, shit I like Taco Bell, why do I like Taco Bell? And then just like, not even like do a video essay, because I don't want to do like these long like video essays on like why I like something. Like I could just be pure and honest and just be like, I mean, I just like Taco Bell because it's fucking good. It's not, it doesn't really need a 7-hour YouTuber essay explaining the intricacies of Tex-Mex food and the effect it has on America. Like, nah, like I'm not gonna bore my audience. I just like Taco Bell, and I you know, I like treating myself like at the end of the week with a savory fast food, totally non-Mexican food. That's just that's one of the things I was thinking of doing. And I like talking about my life experiences too. Not like I'm super old, but I do like talking about stuff that I've lived through, like my experiences in Japan and stuff. Because I know a lot of people would love to move to Japan, but I do like talking about it. Just remembering helps me remember my home away from home. I very much love Taco Bell. It sucks that like where I live, there's not a huge variety in their menu, but it's still good. Like I want the volcano menu, but they don't have it here. It's annoying. We do have Fiesta fries though, so win-win. Or like I mean it is like a tiny win. I have this overwhelming urge that anytime I do a design, I always put the hand on the hip, but whatever. Yo quiero Taco Bell. Here's an idea. Waifu chanify fast food menus and then talk about... you know what? I could do... I'll talk about the ones that I like. I'm not like Wendy's is okay. I know a lot of people are like deify Wendy's because she's like a shit poster or something. I see through your mirage, Wendy's. You're not fooling me. Silence brand. Honestly, if Taco Bell wants to sponsor one of those videos, dude, pay me like $100 in chalupas and you got a stream, or like at least a video. Only 3 people will ever see it, but goddamn if I'm not gonna draw the hottest waifu you've ever seen. Upload a time lapse of the drawing with your word. The time lapse may, yeah. A time lapse would be nice. I have to like think about it, like what would I draw and stuff. Like with like how are you doing, fellow humans? Companies are. I wouldn't doubt like dude. If I draw like a hot waifu for Arby's, that their branding would fucking post it. What's my favorite Azure Lane waifu? It's Taiho. It's Taiho. I have more New Jersey merch than I have Taiho, but yes, it is Taiho. Second is New Jersey though, for sure. I like Kashino. I think she's cute, but Kashino is she's not like I don't know, man. You know what? I think Taco Bell's like cooler than Wendy's is, because Taco Bell's like the kind of company that if you tweet at them, they usually respond. At least from what I've seen. Like, and they're not like condescending, because like I think what like drives me away from like Wendy's marketing is that it's like the intern or whoever is like managing that account is like waiting to be snide with you. And it's like, oh my god, it's annoying because you're trying to like talk to them or you're like trying to be fun and they're just like, yeah, just like your mom, and it's like, okay, like, why? Hey Ross, new follower, love the art. I was wondering, do you do commissions? First off, TF2 fan. Based like TF2 is pretty cool. And I do commissions, but at the moment I'm closed. I am like swamped. Like, you know what? I can show you guys my what my commissions look like. I think that would be fun. Do you guys understand how swamped I am? So, oh my god, this fucking thing. Okay. This is what I'm doing right now. This is the ones that I've done. So I've only done 3. And then these ones are ones that if I get these done in an orderly fashion, let's say by August, I will pick these up and do these. And these are all they're not sketches. Well, these 3 are sketches, and these 3 are full render, and these are like sketches. But they're not like just simple sketches, right? So it's like I have a lot. And then on top of that, I have my day job, and then I also have 2 like a game project that I'm working on and a collaborative project. So, and I also want to keep like drawing. I have a lot, and don't do this, okay? Don't pick up so much work that you're going to bed at like 2 a.m. because you're working. Be smarter. Be smarter about this. I took these commissions because a lot of these ideas were 1, fun, and 2, I kind of needed the money because I'm trying to like work my way through like financial projects that I want to achieve. So that's why like on weekends sometimes I just don't even draw. Like I will just not draw at all, and I feel super guilty. Like I can't describe like how guilty I feel that I don't draw something, where I'm like, oh man, I didn't draw, like, but then it's like, man, I just want to enjoy my Saturday. I don't want to do jack shit. And then I don't. But because I have so many projects, now would be the best moment to just get all that stuff done. I don't charge up front though. That's the thing. That's another thing that I do want to talk about this because I was thinking like if I ever go to like a convention, I want to hold a panel on how to like be an artist that makes their living via commissions, because I feel like a lot of artists don't, for one thing, don't know how to price their stuff, and secondly, they adopt some very, very like shitty manners on like handling commissions and like art, like digital artistry. But one of the things that I always suggest people do is not charge up front. There's a couple reasons why. A lot of art, like some artists will say like, no dude, I need the money, like it's like you're being like inconsiderate because like, well, here's the thing. What if you charge up front, but then you have a situation where you can't fulfill the order, be it that you're injured or you just can't because you found something that's either a project that does interest you more, will net you more money in the long run. It's better, like, you're gonna have to refund that money if you haven't spent it already, right? Because a lot of the artists that charge up front, like a vast majority, they open comms when they need money instead of treating it as like a salary. Because yeah, we all need money, right? I open comms because I need money, or I have plans to like use that money for paying bills or whatever. But if you start charging up front, you're gonna start treating customers like they are a bank. But once you take the money, you have to do the work. Like, what if you're stressed or like emotionally like you can't do something, like, or something's out of your control that you can't fulfill the order? Are you gonna sit with your hands in your crotch and just be like, yep, sorry, I can't? and then you're just gonna, there's some cunt, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna get really like, I apologize for saying that, but there's an asshole that did not, I forgot that uses the trashest name, but there's a guy that took a commission, the payment up front, and took 2 years to deliver the commission. Not even deliver, just to respond, and or like not even complete the commission, like, and the guy was like so condescending and treated it like woe is me, and he was doing like everything else but the commission that he was supposed to turn in. And so that guy got canceled to hell and back. It's not Horu, but Horu is another one that I've heard many stories of. But yeah, don't treat your customers like they're your piggy bank. If like you don't go to a pizzeria and you pay, I mean, obviously you pay the pizza and you get it like it, but the pizza doesn't like start cooking until you pay it. Once you pay it, it gets like it's being made. The ingredients are there. It's the same with like art. When you get to the customer, like you're not. Sorry, let me rephrase it. When someone comes in through the door, you don't make them pay just to come in through the door because they're gonna order something. You pay them when you're ready to order and the food's gonna start being made. So you sit down and you wait for your pizza to get made. The pizza doesn't take 2 years to not be made. To not be made and then be told you're being unreasonable for requesting the food that you clearly paid for, right? An engineer like gets paid. Like, I know some jobs, like, you pay up front to get stuff done, but with art, I feel like it's just better to, like, charge once the work has started. An engineer doesn't charge up front. You put a budget, right? The budget is set. Once the work is ready to start, you start paying in installments. Or you start paying it, like, I mean, I don't know, like, much about construction, but, like, it's also, like, it's just... I think that because a lot of artists are just treating this as like a free money thing, where like, yeah, like I can make money off my art and I can just charge up front and people will just pay it. They're not like treating the profession in a professional manner. Yeah, when you buy the pizza, the cook doesn't go like, okay, I gotta go by the store and make the pizza. No, it's already there. You just put it together. When you go to Taco Bell, right? Everything is presumably there, and they will make the burrito or the chalupa or whatever, or like the gordita crunch, making the ingredient with the ingredients that are clearly in there already. They don't just go like, oh yeah, we're out of gordita crunches. You're just gonna have to wait till tomorrow when the delivery truck comes in. When one, you're hungry at the moment, and two, I'm not paying for your fucking delivery truck to come over. Yeah, exactly. And listen, I'm not without my faults. It's happened. I've charged up front in the past, and charging up front isn't a sin, but it's not good etiquette in my opinion, at least, to do that. It's why I stopped doing it, because you want to charge when you're ready to commence the work, or when you have approved, like the design of whatever you're doing has been approved. And so yeah, okay, going back to the conversation, I don't charge up front. Like, I don't know, I treat, like, here's the thing, art is my career, it's my job. I don't treat this as like, oh yeah, like people want to give me money because they love my work, and then like, don't treat it professionally. Like, I fucking wake up and this is like my 8 to 5. I have like usually 12-hour shifts sometimes because I'm working, because I love what I'm doing and this is a job and I'm a professional. And you should treat this presumably career path that you're taking with the same level of respect that any other job would command. Like if you work in marketing or you work somewhere, you don't like just go to your boss and tell them like, yeah, okay, you gotta pay me my salary up front and then I'll deliver. Like you don't tell your boss that the deliverables or like that report is gonna get done later in the week. Like no job, like you have to do the work before you get your salary. That doesn't work like that. Do that any other job, you'll get fired. So if that logic applies for regular jobs, why shouldn't it apply for something that you clearly want to treat as a job and you clearly want to be recognized as a professional? If it's a hobby for you, I hate to break it to you, but once something starts making you money, it's no longer a hobby. At least, like, it's no longer a hobby. It's a second job. You can cry all you want, saying like, no, it's like a hobby that just makes me honest. Like, no, it's a second job. You're exchanging money, and once you start doing something for money, your entire perspective on what you're doing or the reason you're doing it for changes. You're gonna find out really quickly if you love doing something for money versus doing it for fun. Like if you love drawing for fun, right, and then you start taking money, you will realize really quickly whether you want to do it as a job, like as a hobby for 100% or as a side thing. Well, if you're my coworker, yeah, I mean that happens, but this is a solo job mostly. Like you're the boss and everything. So yeah, okay, what about, how do you do your payments? What if someone wants some changes? So for payments, use whatever you're comfortable with. There's Stripe, there's PayPal, blah, blah, blah. Some people do bank transfers as well. Or they use other platforms that have different payment processors, etc. You use whatever you're comfortable with. Just keep in mind that not everything, not everybody will have whatever payment processor you have. But if someone wants changes, it depends on money order. Yeah, you know what? I have a story. I have like a very good story about it. In 2016, I think, or 2000, somewhere around, like I was still using Tumblr at that point, when they allowed not safe for work. And I remember I was like, hey, I want to buy I was actually going through like a weird time where like I had to work so much to like feed myself, but I was just like, hey, I want to buy pizza for myself this weekend. I'll do like a commission stream. Does anyone want to pay for a commission stream? And back in those days, someone offered me to pay for Domino's pizza, which was, my order was going to be like $20-$30 or something like that, and I was just going to make a sketch. They were willing to pay me like 10 Bitcoin or like 15 Bitcoins or something like that back in those days. I wouldn't have had any other, like, I didn't know how to redeem those or whatever, and I was just like, Bitcoin, that's so stupid. How the fuck am I going to pay? How am I, like, what am I going to do with Bitcoin? Just pay me in like real money. And I lost some 15 Bitcoin. I could have been a millionaire, man. I could. I could have been a millionaire if I wasn't such a goddamn like chunky boy that wanted to be. Well, I'm not chunky anymore, but if I wasn't like someone that wanted to have his fucking pizza, and I would have been like, yeah, you know what? Bitcoin might be a smart investment. Pay me up, and I'll use part of it just to buy just to buy some like a McDonald's or something cheaper. Oh man, what could have been? Some artists take commissions on Bitcoin, but I don't know if that's a smart thing to do. It's so unstable. One month I like doubled my investment on like Ethereum, and then like the next month it like crashed. Well, in a way, you were actually the guy that who paid 10. Yeah, I am the stupid equivalent of that. Okay. It's just funny though. Because the moment, okay, here's the thing though. You know how I remember that vividly? It's that not long after, like when someone like told me the news, like, hey, have you seen like the Bitcoin stuff? I think it was my brother, and he's like, no, what happened with crypto? And my brother explains to me, like, no, yeah, Bitcoin like shut up like so like this amount, and my immediate reaction, I was like just like cursing like a sailor, and my brother's like, what's wrong? What happened? I lost on 10 Bitcoins 4 years ago, and he's just like, he's looking at me like I'm crazy. And like that stuck in my mind. I was like, fuck. But the thing is, like how the fuck was I supposed to know, right? Like, listen, when I was in Japan doing a study abroad, like my first time that I went there to live, I had to do a business class at the university that I was studying at, and they were like, okay, I had to like talk about stocks, and the first stock I told, like, this was like 2012, and I was like, yeah, I have 2 stocks we can discuss, and in those days Tesla was like $34 or something like that, and I was like, yeah, Tesla seems like a good company. Elon Musk is pretty cool, and I still remember the presentation, and everyone was like, "Oh, holy shit!" And I remember like a few of the people that I used to know there, that I was in class with. They're like, they went in, not because I was very convincing. It's just that they realized that electric cars were being made, and they went and invested in Tesla. And it took like a few years for them to make money. But I was like, most of the presentation was just talking about like how smart Elon Musk is as a businessman. And it was just like, oh, and then like, you know, that it's one of those things where like I was lying, like I was ready to go to sleep, and that came into my mind, and I cringed so hard. I was like, oh God. At one point I was a tech bro. Yeah, it was like a pyramid. I mean, have you ever? There's a very good documentary on. There was a very good documentary on the creation of Bitcoin and how the guy that made it in Japan had like the big, like It was like one of the biggest scams. It was like money laundering. It's such a huge mess. Dude, like every little cringe thing that I've ever said haunts me at night. Like on a random night, I could just be vibing, like just watching like some random YouTube video, and I'm like, this is fun, and then it'll come to my mind, and it's like, hey, do you remember when you said that stupid thing to that girl trying to hit on her when you were 12 years old? Have fun. And then it just sticks with me. And like I'm just like laying in bed, it's like, okay, well, I guess I'm stuck with this now. Also, I got invited to, speaking of Elon Musky, I got invited to, what's this platform called? Blue Sky. And it's literally just Twitter. I mean, it's a little rough around the edges, but it's on beta at the moment, so it's not that big of a deal. But it's very agonizing. I got invited to Blue Sky, and it's really, I mean, one of my favorite artists followed me immediately there, and I was like, oh fuck. Like I made a first post, and that artist was just immediately like, yay! And it's like it's a Japanese artist, and I was just like laughing. I was like, wait, okay, and he like followed me immediately and like retweeted my stuff or skied my. I don't know what, like a reblog. I have no fucking clue what the terms are supposed to be in Blue Sky. But I think what Blue Sky needs is more users. They could just open the platform in beta. Like they don't need this code invitation or open up a limit. See how much the server withstands, and if there's too much pressure on the server, then they can just close new applications and then tell people, it's like, yeah, you gotta wait a little bit because we're like taking our time with making sure that the servers work. Thread, the issue with Thread is that it's Twitter but Instagram. Like you have to link your Instagram account with Threads, and for artists is a little difficult because even though Instagram is full of like people showing off their bodies, it's not art it's not like subject to the same rules that, you know, a big name celebrity showing off her ass or a dude showing off like his massive pecs would be in terms of art. So you can't do not safe for work. You can do, I think, Eki or like questionable stuff. I know that what's her name? Taiga. A mutual of mine. She posted on. She made a thread and she's just like, yeah, I'm gonna see how long this lasts. Because I told her, it's like, hey, you can't post not safe for work. She's like, yeah, I'm kind of aware. I'll see like if by censoring or posting questionable stuff, it can hold on. I don't have to worry about making the feed so accurate. head's kind of... We're gonna cheat a little bit, because I don't feel like... Yeah, I'm working on it. Yeah, so yeah, Threads is if you're gonna use it as a Twitter, but you don't post not safe for work, and you're just gonna use it for like posting memes, I think Threads is fine. It's just like, keep in mind, Threads is owned by Facebook, which will notoriously will do everything in its power to sell your data off to whoever's willing to just show up with money. So take that with a hint. I mean, most platforms do, but Meta or like Facebook, whatever, Zuckerberg is more down to do it. Do you think Google will try to... No, Google doesn't give a shit. Honestly, they have their hands full with YouTube and trying to figure out what the fuck they're gonna do with the platform. They got their own situation. I think Google is also more interested in how to handle AI. Like they got, like, in the grand scheme of things, they have bigger fish to fry. Because at the end of the day, Twitter and Facebook ultimately depend on Google to provide the search results. Like when you go to like you open a browser, like more times than you can count, you're gonna Google something, and Facebook is like gonna be a result because there's like a picture of something that someone posted on Facebook, or there's a Facebook group in the same vein that there are Reddit groups and stuff. So yeah, I don't think Google cares. At least at the very least, I don't think they care. She has like huge eyes because that's Arko Owada's style. But I'll see how I do her in my style. Like, I'm not like, this is just gonna be like a design. Like I plan on doing like a big piece for her. And this is just me like designing, and it's just gonna be part of the thing where, because I don't want to like jump into like a full illustration not knowing what the fuck I'm gonna do, because she does like Fire Emblem as far as I know, and I think if she's that as much as a fan, or at least like a player like I am, she's gonna like this type of character design stuff. She's gonna like. Even though she might see it and it's just like, okay, that's cool. Like, at the very least, I want there to be like work put into it. So I do like this level of practice for character design. I still wish they didn't drop those project out of phones. You could build like PCs. What happened after 2020, where every website just crumbled I think it's just that I don't know. The issue with the internet really is that it's slowly being consolidated, and in the early days of the internet, people were more patient. People were more willing to go through web zones, go through like, you know, like when you looked at a website and it had like, you know, you had like a home, about, blah, 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 and then links, right? And then you click there and then it would have like different links to different sites or whatever. Usually like your friends or people that, you know, make cool shit. And you would have to go through those. In the early days, like I'm talking like 2000s, there were, at least when I was looking at art, stuff that's called matome site, where it's just a compilation site, and they used to have like a lot of links, and they were very organized, and they were like usually like if you like big boobs, right, they would have like links of artists that are just known for doing that. And everybody was willing to have their own website, even if you had to pay like what, $5 to do it. And with the advent of social media, you can find everyone you want in one single place, and it's free, quote unquote, but you know, you got to keep in mind that you're the product. When something's free, it's not 100% free on the internet. You're the product, or your information is what they're after. The free content is the bait, and you're the fish. But everyone was more willing to like go seek out unique websites and that sort of stuff. But social media has kind of killed the internet a lot, because people just want the comfort of having everything in one place and seeing their numbers grow big. And yeah, art, social media has been great for art, but it's, you know, back in the early days, people would be excited. It's like, hey, I had 300,000 people visit my website, which by today's standards, you know, doesn't sound like much. People actually hated they had to make Steam accounts. People still hate that they have to make Steam accounts to play Half-Life. I personally would love to, like, here's the thing. Steam is very convenient, right? You have your games consolidated in one place, but you need an account to like access those games. You don't have like total access to those accounts. Meaning that if Steam decides to ban you for whatever reason, you've lost those games. You're never getting them back. You're essentially like, if you spent thousands of dollars on an account, and Steam one day just bans you because of whatever, you're fucked. You're out of luck. Your games are lost. So yeah, Gabe offers a way to like incentivize people to pirate less, as giving them an option for more access. But you don't get, like, you're never gonna really own those games. They're not DRM free. You're not keeping them in a shelf. You're not, it's not sitting on your desktop or like on your cloud drive or like on a CD like that. You're wholly dependent on Steam never banning you, which it's very hard to get banned on Steam. Like, you have to do something egregious, like actually being like an unrelenting asshole. The head could be a little smaller, but not by much. I can always adjust, but she doesn't have very broad shoulders, so. It's a sketch, but I'm already losing my fucking mind because it's like, she gets so much crazy good fan art. That's the thing, like, that's also sometimes why I don't generally, like, I feel like apprehensive about making fan art, is that I get obsessive where I'm just like, this has to be like the best shit that they've ever gotten. And so like, I end up like spending like 7 days on something because I want it to come out good. Seems pretty good at just banning people on actual business disruptions and abuses, but everyone has a clock for when Gabe leave. Yeah. That's the thing. Steam is Steam because of Gabe. But once that happens, everyone's just gonna pirate games. Like, if Steam just does not honor like the way that that business used to be run. I don't tend to compare myself to artists anymore. Here's what I do. Maybe that might help you if you're an artist in your own journey. So let me put it this way. Whoa, I had not saved. So here, let me put it into perspective. Okay. Think of art as a series of mounts, series of peaks to climb. You climb over the first one. Let's say the first hurdle is starting your art journey, right? You see other people climbing okay, so this is you. When you get over here, right, you climb out the hurdle, right, or like you've climbed a peak. And you see this, and you're like, oh shit, there's a bigger peak, but someone's already climbed it. The way I see it, or the way that people should see it, is that if this person could do it, I can as well. But you have to work your way up a mountain. You can't just like expect to like jump like you're fucking Hulk or something, right? This peak. And I think it's more like this. It's not like you're gonna climb down. It's more like, you know, it's more connected like this, right? Where like you're gonna have to like work your way up the mountain, or like the mountain range. And each series of peaks has to be your own peak that you climb. But the way I see it, again, is that I saw someone else climbed it, right? Why can't I? So, technically, for example, let me find like a good example of someone that I look up to. What's a good artist to pick here? Someone that's more my contemporary. No, you know what? That's gonna. Yeah, YouTube's not gonna like that. Okay, well, I think this artist is okay to put. Hold on. Let me grab something that is not gonna get me in trouble. Let me make sure. Okay. Okay, no, this one won't get me in trouble. Okay. So, Asanagi, right? For example, dude's been drawing for years, and let's say that I look at this guy as my peak, right? This in the sense that I look at him as my peak is more of like where I want to get or how good I want to get. Not that I want to copy or I'm not as good as this person. It's more like it's more of like, well, I want to get this good. Where are my faults? Where can I get better? And then I start looking at the artist. Well, for example, they draw better like shoulders than I do, and I struggle with that. So that's something that I can work on. I want to draw their, like how they do faces, or I want to be more expressive. And so my faces fall short of that. They draw sweat better. Like there are things that you can take out of like looking at another artist. And so I do not like, I'm not the kind of person where like I am looking at another artist that's, because another thing that's, I'm gonna fucking lower the volume. This music is like bashing my brain a little bit. I'm looking at it in a way where I can learn something, and I think social media has fucked with our perspectives of whether I'm good or not, because we're determining numbers on we're determining skill, success, and effort based on numbers, where you could be the best artist in the world and still like have like 5K followers. That's not your measure of success depends really on what your goal for art is. And if you're very much like of the mindset that I want to be a successful Twitter artist, well, you know, you pump out fan art, you suck, like, you know, you pump, like you try to like play the algorithm, follow trends and stuff. None of that is bad. That's just your goal, right? You have to have your own set of peaks. For example, and everything is relative, like success or like feeling like they're good. It's like Asanagi can look at my work, for example, like this artist can be look at my work and be like, wow, this guy, I'm not as good as he is. It's all relative. Like I can be like, what the fuck are you like I've met artists that I loved since I started out as an artist that they're like, dude, you're really good. And it's like sometimes you just need to hear that, but also sometimes it's like, you know, they're not like, you can feel like they're being condescending or like they're not being genuine, but they probably find things that and like one of the artists that I really respected, they came up to me and they asked us like, how do you do this? And it was just like, I'm sorry, what? You want to know how I do something? And they're like, yeah, no, I want to know because I can't figure this out. And yeah, so like every like it's a race, but you're only racing against yourself, because you're not gonna get any better if you just sit on your ass and mope and you're just like, I wish I was just as good as this guy. Well, you know, it might take you 20 years to get as good as that one person, but if you don't start running, you're never gonna get to the end goal, or you're never gonna get there. So everyone's at their own pace, but like if you want to get better, study from other artists, practice things. Don't just mindlessly draw. Be mindful of what you're making. Try different things. Like, for example, for me, one of the things that I measured my own success is that I make a living of being an artist, and I don't have as many followers as a lot of other like highly like popular artists are. But there's a fair few that I make more money than. Like I have a lot of like I either purely out of commissions, or like I know of some artists that are very popular and they have to take either twice or like sometimes 3 times as more commissions than I do in order to like turn a profit. So it's like I just want to be able to make a living off my art, make extra money, invest it in my own business, or like make games and stuff. And that's my own measure of success. I'm not worried if I have 300,000 followers, like 1 million followers. It's not like, of course it helps, right? Because you get more eyes on your stuff. But it's at the same time, it's also like, what is the quality of the followers that you're generating? Are you generating followers that are just there because they want to see you put out more of the same, or like, are you making LCs? Are you making original content that people want to pay for? Are you doing something different? Like, it really depends. Like, it just really depends what you want out of your own audience, and that's something that you have to think about. What does art mean for you? What do you want out of it? And you can apply that to anything, really. It doesn't have to be necessarily art. Like, if you're an engineer and you make bridges, but you might feel frustrated that you're not making the best bridge that there could exist. But then you see another engineer that has like a very successful consulting business, and you're just like, how the fuck am I not this good? Like, we both went to the same school and stuff, but then you're just like, no, I gotta hit the books, or I gotta see what can I do differently to help make better bridges for people and stuff. Or maybe your goal in life as an engineer is just to make shit that makes people's life better. Or maybe your goal as an engineer is just to make a shit ton of money. It really just depends on what you want to do. And again, I compare, like, it's hard, right? Because sometimes I'll just say, like, I'm just not good at this, like, this artist. And either you have to be okay with that reality, and even if you're okay, strive to get as good or better. When someone like comes up to me, it's like, I'm not as good as you. I'm like, don't ever say that. Just become better than I am. Just work hard. Like work. When I say work hard, it's not like just work hard, just draw. Like, no, be smarter. Like, where are you fail? Like, again, like, I feel like I'm failing in faces or in the shoulders, or like I'm not making the boobs or the clothing in a proper manner and stuff. Then just work with that, right? Just like start working on what needs your improvement, what you need to improve. Like, sitting on your ass, like, hold on, let me see something here. Okay, so proportionate. Yeah. Again, like I said, art is a series of peaks that you have to climb. And that's your own journey that you have to. And anyone, like, if you see someone that's climbed either the highest peak or is climbing a peak that you're struggling with, it never hurts to ask them and just be like, how did you do it? You might get an answer. You never know. They might be willing to help. Like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's climb it together. I'll help you. And not every artist can respond to everybody, and not every artist has the time or like whatever, but you just climb your own mountain. But don't like, it's hard as an artist. You're more willing to look at the negatives and be harder on yourself, and boy am I always feel like I'm not good enough, in the sense that, like, I think I'm just like, my art is just slop. But yeah, it's a process. Like, it's taken years, and for me it's been like a very long process, because one of the things that always fucked with me was that when I was living in Japan, actually, like, for work, I lost my job, but I could have stayed in Japan, like, if I was making enough money with my art, and I wasn't at the time. And so I always, like, felt like I was just a failure for that. And for many years I've always felt like I was just never good. never good enough. And I never like assume I'm good. I just assume that I'm getting better every time I think about what I'm doing, and if I'm like actively trying to improve things, change the way that I work on stuff or try different things. And I always ask my friends for feedback, and I have like friends that are very honest with me, and like I'm very thankful for that. And they'll tell me, it's like, no, you're getting better, or I mean, this isn't the best thing you've made, but it's okay. Like, you know, it's okay to not make like a magnum opus every time. Yeah, it doesn't hurt back to just like take time to learn, relearn the basics and stuff. If you're like stuck at something, just go back and read something. Take a few days to just practice something. Like no one's gonna like hunt you down because you're taking your mornings to study art a little bit. And yeah, don't feel like you're not studying well enough, because if you're reading, you're trying to understand what is it that you're not, like, you know, you're having problems with. Some people will post like 700 posts like morning warm up, and it's like, you know, they drew like fucking seven full, like the Sistine Chapel 7 times. Like, don't feel like you need to like get on that level. Like, as long as you do something where you get the fundamental right, and it's ingrained in your memory, or like you understand the concept and you can put it into practice, that's enough. Because as long as you get the fundamentals or work on whatever it is, and like the smart thing to study is not like, I'm gonna do everything all at once. What do you want to improve the most? Do you want to improve the faces the most? Then spend time on that. Take a little bit of a break after you're done studying it. Put it into practice, maybe for like another week or so, and then pick something else, or like reconvene and see if it still needs improving, and then, you know, rinse and repeat until you get it. You might even need just a day, you might need a month, you might need a week, you might need a year. But as long as you do it, you know, the important thing is just doing it. And, you know, a lot of people like in art will just spend 7 years studying and not doing anything with it, and then just giving up. They're really good, but they haven't done jack shit with it. They're like, yeah, once I get good, I'll make my comic, and then they just never do. Don't wait until you get better to make stuff. That's another advice. You're good enough as it is right now. Would it help if you studied more like sequential art or comics to make your own comic? Yeah, sure. But if you don't start just doing it and then learning as you go, you're not like, you're never gonna start, because you're always gonna want to be better, or you're never gonna be as good. It's just getting started. That's all you need to do. How many hit, like, I'm sorry, but I, like, you know, I'm supposed to be chill about this, but I am also like just so worried about like she has to be 6 heads tall or something like that. No, she's taller than that. She's like 80% legs, yeah. I mean, again, I don't think this really matters because it's mainly just design, but this needs to look good in my opinion, so. And, you know, this is where the shortcomings start to show up. I'm spending too much time on a setup, and my anatomy clearly needs a lot of work. Oh, that's okay. That's another thing I needed to fix here. A lot of, yeah, because it's this needs to be a little longer. Yeah, there we go. But again, I'm gonna keep her thighs like plump because that's just the things I like. I don't know how she feels about that, but I think we can make one concession. Again, I've seen her MMD model. She's stacked front to back. Honestly, I need to start mine. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, I like motivating people. I feel like I like being in people's corner. I think everybody has a right to achieve the things that they want to do, and everyone has their own pace, but everybody's all about doom and gloom, but I try to remain positive. I want people to succeed, and even if they aren't world famous, I want I want people to be able to succeed in their own little corners or wherever. Like I'm quite content being like this niche content creator, like even though like some of the stuff like in not safe for work space that I draw as niche, I consider myself successful, and like I'm very happy. I don't need to be like world-class famous. Like I am just content that people enjoy my stuff, they support me, and they want to see more. That's invigorating, and I want more people to experience that because it is really life-changing. And I've been through a lot. I'm one of those people that I just don't want, like, I don't want to say that I'm not confrontational. It's just like if I don't need the world is hard as it is, like I don't need to be a problem. So if I can be like a positive influence for someone, then I'll do it. Some people don't have that, sadly. And obviously I can't be like, at least like if someone comes and watches my stream, or like just like happens to like hear me like mention something once in a chat or something, or like I put out like a dumbass tweet or something, like at least like I do want people to just like get something out of it, or get motivated. Like you don't have like I don't, and like I'm not like wanting people to like think that I'm like doing this like weird pep talk where I'm just like, yeah, you go fucking like get rich. Like just, I don't know, like go to the gym, and that's maybe your peak to climb. Going for like, yeah, that's kind of like the whole deal. Not like whatever it is, man, you got it. Just do it. Not everybody has that, and like it sucks. I'm blessed that I have friends, that I have fans, that I have a family, you know, that, you know, is supportive. I have that, and I know some people don't. A lot of people just spend their time like doom scrolling on Twitter or like wherever, and just like but I like, you know, whatever, man. I just want to hang out. I just want to draw stuff. I just want to make people happy. I want to make games. I want to design characters that people like. That's kind of it. And I think I'm glad I'm stupid, because I don't really have to think too much about it. I'll try to find someone smarter than I am, and I'll let her worry about being the smart one and the one that has to like. I'll just be the stay-at-home horse, and I'm just gonna like, you know, I'll be the one that is just like, I don't know, I'm stupid, but I made you like your favorite meal. That's just it. You know. I mean, I don't think I'm like, okay, full disclosure, I don't think I'm like stupid. I'm just I just don't think like I am like, I don't know. Let's just call it stupid. I'm just like, whatever. I think I said it on the other stream, whenever that was, but I think growing up, being way more closer to my mom and like seeing her as more of like a role model when I was younger, because and like growing around my aunts and my grandmother and stuff has made me want to be more of like a stay-at-home horse, or like, I don't know, I've always felt more sensitive and more like that. I don't know how to explain it. But if you get it, you get it. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stop thinking so much about this anatomy and just fucking get over it. I can fix it on my own time, really. It's not that hard. I could stand the mover back a little bit. And another thing that I should be doing is not keeping her hand on her waist, because that's stupid in terms of like design. She, at least for what I'm trying to go with here, like I don't like, it's gonna block this. I'm not gonna be able to like appropriately add clothing to her, because this is mostly like adding creases to like a design is just like a pain in the ass, but Okay, here's something that I was making a problem about. Okay, this, I think I'll probably just add the hand, whatever. I give up at this point. Let's just... I at this point, like, I'm just going for whatever's the fastest solution to my problem. Right now, I'm like trying to figure out too many things at the same time. I think I'm also like overthinking it because I'm like talking a lot. So I'm like more focused on what I'm saying rather than like on what I'm doing. There we go. Oh man, I just remembered a story from Japan. So you know how like in your mind you have things that you're like thinking about but you shouldn't do? Where like, oh, it would be really nice to like stick my hand in there. But you really shouldn't. Like if you're watching like there's like cake batter and you're like thinking about like how nice it would be to like stick your hand in there. Well, I was out with my host family. But I had gone back, like I was working at that point. I was there already like as a professional, and we went out for like they're from Osaka, so we went out to Kyoto to like just hang out, and they had a host kid or like a host. They were hosting someone like a lady. And I talked to her, whatever. She was a little dismissive, but she wasn't mean either. It was more of like, yeah, this guy's just here for like a day. I don't give a shit. But we were talking, whatever. She was nice, whatever. But I was talking mostly with my host family or whatever, and we went to like this candy shop in Kyoto. There's a lot of them. Traditional candy shop. And I remember like they have like these like a huge thing with toothpicks, and they're like organized in such a fashion that they make like an interesting shape, circular thing. Like it looks like almost like it looks like a vacuum. And the entire moment I'm just like looking at it, and I like spaced out mentally like for a good 2 to 5 seconds as this lady is like talking to me while my host parents are just like going off somewhere, and I like stick my hand in the chopsticks that are used for taste testing, because you take a toothpick and you like try out one of the candies or something. And I just like stick my hand in there and presumably contaminate the whole thing. And this lady is just staring at me like I am demented. And there was like another person there just like looking at me like I've lost my mind. And she just looks at me. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? And I realized what I did, and I'm just like, I don't know. I wish I could explain, but I don't know. And even I was like questioning, like, have I lost my mind? And she had to signal like the host family, and like they're like, hey, what happened? Is everything okay? And she's like, no, like she couldn't speak Japanese. Right? So she's trying to like explain to the family what happened, but she can't speak Japanese as well as I can. So she tells me like, you gotta tell them. So in Japanese, I have to explain, okay, I stuck my hand in there, and she like she's like, the host dad is just like laughing, and the host mom is like this like stereotypical like very like Osaka woman's like strong character, and she's just like a mom. She's just like scolding me for doing that, and I'm like 25, I think, around this time, and she calls like the attendant over, and this is already a scene, right? Like everyone's just looking at us because the mom's like making a big fuss. The host dad is just laughing because it was so stupid. Like he's not making a big deal about it because it's just like just change the things. But she makes me like talk to this lady, and ask for like apologize to her and tell her what had happened, and it's like, and then she just like looks at me like, why would you do that? Why would you stick your hand inside? And I have to just tell her I don't know why I did it. This entire time it's just me telling them, like they're worried that I have like something in my faculties is gone, like I've lost control because I stuck my hand. And then the kid that was at the house staying with the host parents just like never spoke to me after that. Like everybody else like got over it but her. Like she just like didn't talk to me for the rest of the trip. And it was pretty like when I think about it, it's like what happened? Like I don't like I swear I blanked out. Like there was nothing there, and I just remember the action of like taking my hand out. I like that host dad because he took like that kind of stuff like with like such grace, and he's just like he used to like he's like, so I don't know, like I need to check on them on Facebook, but he was like so chill about everything because he's just like, I don't give a shit. That man loves his wife, and he just like dude just like doesn't. Like he just takes everything with like a grain of salt, and he just doesn't care. He's just like, dude, what's like, it's whatever. I remember like we used to have, I think like once a week, we used to go out to eat. At least every Sunday we used to go out to eat, and one time we went to McDonald's. Well, more than once, obviously, but the first time we went there, the dad was excited because he's like, I like McDonald's. McDonald's has like the best fries. And so we go there, we buy it, we go back to the house, we put everything out, and the dad just like takes out chopsticks and start like, that's common in Japan, but for me it was just like the biggest shock because it's like I'm so used to just grabbing the potato. Like in the school that I was studying at, there was a McDonald's. And so everybody used to buy like fries, and everybody was eating it with their hands. But when I saw him just grab like one potato chip at a time with the chopstick, it like fucked with my brain. But then like I asked him, I was like, just use your hands. And he looked at me and he's just like, why? It's cleaner and I can enjoy one potato chip at a time, and it takes me like, I will spend more time and enjoy each like he gave me like an explanation, and it was just like, it's not something that I would have done, but it completely changed my perspective on like how I view food in that instance, where it's like, yeah, it's common in Japan for like, or at least I guess Asia, where wherever chopsticks are used, to have like people use chopsticks to eat whatever, because that's the cutlery they're used to. But him like giving me that explanation, even though like I'm pretty sure it's just I'm used to eating that, just completely like rewired my brain. It's like, oh, he's just enjoying like one potato at a time, and it, like, I don't know. It's not. No, I mean, I understand. Like, hear me out. I understand that it's common. I'm just saying that he had no reason to give me that explanation, but he did. And for the longest time, I was just like, oh man, like, you know, because okay, here the whole point of me staying with the homestay is for me to like ingrain myself in the culture and get better at the language. So he clearly told me that, knowing full well that it was a lie, but that I would take it as a, oh, holy shit, this is such a like deep and cultural thing, which is when it literally just boils down to like just grabbing one potato at a time. But for the longest time, I was just sitting there, like I would sit there and like instead of using the chopsticks, I would just use my fingers and eat one potato at a time. But he knew why he said, like, he knew I would take it in that way, because he's like, they've told me things before, and I've told them like, wow, that is really deep, and like and they explained that, but he just did it to fuck with me. Is what I'm getting at. Like, he just used chopsticks because he didn't want to get his hands dirty. That's it. That was the explanation. But he gave me like a philosophical background to like using the chopsticks, and it was just like, nah, I don't want to get my hands dirty. There's a lot of stuff that like people ascribe to like Asian cultures, or like especially Japan. I'm like, oh, this has like a significant deeper meaning, when sometimes it's just like, no, we just don't want to, or we just do it because it's easier. I don't know. I would grab like 3 or 4 at a time and shove it down my gullet. I don't know. I'm not like, I live in a Western society governed by Western customs where you grab potato chips with your fingers. No, I am. Listen, I grew up in a household with 5 other dudes. My dad and my 3 other brothers. I'm the oldest one of my brothers, but it's still. Whenever there was food on the table, if you weren't fast enough, it's not that you didn't get to eat, because it's not like we were starving. It's more like if you really wanted more rice, you needed to get rice when there was rice. You see what I'm getting at? So, because they're not gonna make more. My parents weren't like, yeah, we're gonna make more for the kids. It's like, no, that's what's on the table. That's what you're getting. Yeah, and I have like at the very least, I have like one brother that just eats a metric ton. We all eat a lot, but he eats the most. So it was usually like, get your portions before, we get to him. And it's like, okay. For the longest time, it was like a meme in the house where like you would have to like go up to him and tell him, it's like, don't eat this. Because if you saved something in the fridge and didn't have your name on it, or he wasn't aware that like it was yours, he would just eat it. Like now he's more like, he's an adult now, but yeah, I know what you're talking about secondhand. Not my family, only my boy. I visited some Vietnamese friends that had a lot of siblings. Yeah, we're 6 in the house, or were. Like one of my brothers is already married in Paris, but 興味深いね。ああ。こちら、心にさん書きます。Okay. Let's see here. I don't like thin necks, or like the typical like anime thin necks. Yeah, that feels more at home. This foot is fucked up. That's a little better, I guess. Again, I wasn't supposed to like. It was just supposed to be like a doodle, man. Okay. I like my necks just proportional. My mom had me and said it's no more. My mom wanted like more. My dad's side of the family is like 8, but my mom wanted more because she said, I mean, my dad has like from my dad's side, he has like 7 brothers and sisters. My mom wanted more. My dad was the one that put the kibosh on it. He was just like, yeah, no more. I can't sustain this. My mom had a miscarriage, and right after that she said, I want to try again. And my dad's just like, no, we need to stop. I can't go through that again. And what are you getting at? And my mom's just like, no, I want the girl. But yeah, my dad closed down, like, my dad told my mom to close down the factory. So like, it's enough. Ross, you remember that summer Izumi I showed a photo of from WonderCon? He's pre-order. Holy shit. That's fucked up. That's so much. I'm a little sad that I'm cutting down on figure buying. Like I'm like obviously gonna get the ones I pre-ordered, but I need to cut down on expenses. I don't have anywhere to put. Like I think I showed a picture of my desk and the bookshelf that I have next to it. That's it. Like I don't have anywhere else to put them. Yeah, I have 2 large tape drawers, but it's like I'm not gonna like. I want to move out soon, or at least next year. I'm not gonna box 20 different anime figures and then just like, yeah, I'll just ship it to wherever I go. Like it's horribly inefficient. It's gonna be expensive. I already did it when I was living in Japan and it was a fucking nightmare. I'm never doing that again. She's a 1/4 scale. Jeez. Someone in a Freya server bought a 1/4 Chun-Li. Oh, the Nia blade form looks awesome. So her arm is kind of it's way too big. I draw her too muscular. Whatever. Like at this point, like I give up. Yeah, whatever. Fuck it. Yeah, man, I don't care anymore. I need to get moving with this drawing. I'm gonna give her a silly smile. I think Corny can smile. She wants to. It has to be kind of like a smug smile. That is, yeah. That's a little closer to. Okay, let's see. Her eyes are. this type. Okay. Her eyes are that way. So I'm gonna actually. I've come to appreciate pop-ups. The poor man's figure, yeah. Her twin tails. I bet. For a second, I thought you were talking about Coroni. I was like, she has twin tail? Like, no, she doesn't. And then I was just like, oh wait. Talking about figures here. I feel like Arco Wada's style I could learn some stuff from, mostly because I think her use of color or the way that she colors certain things I don't want to say steal from, but I could take away from, at least for certain things. She's very, they are very efficient at just drawing characters that are, immediately appealing color-wise. Saber-face crony. I'm so happy to be crony. Crony is, more... again, I've been, I don't have this huge backlog knowledge of Crony. I've been watching her for a bit already. But it's not from what I see, she's always I don't want to say stoic, but it's more of she's the tank of the group, or the sage. She's a lot like my friend Pudding. It's kind of why I like her a lot. So it's oh, she's exactly like my friend, my best friend. I hope this face looks good. It's not gonna be anything Never tried this class yet on the healer category. Healing sages are fine. I just feel like having a dedicated healer is just much better. I kind of just don't... I don't know. Unengaged are a little better, but I just... I don't know. I like the hyper-focused classes. Because then you can give them the powerful tomes and stuff, and they usually just have a better stat distribution versus having a sage that also does healing. Then they're you know, they're either gonna be like pretty mid in stat distributions, or they're just gonna like teeter to one side entirely, and you're just gonna end up with a unit that is like either like a glass cannon or like I think my issue is I'm trying too hard or not too hard, but I'm trying like I'm like looking too much at the reference and not it's also late. Like if I sit down and like patiently deconstruct the eyes and just like I can get at the way that I draw them. This is still too much from stuff. When does the Arco want to draw a sexy Neko arc? I think that would be funny. And it kind of would be out of character, but that would be very funny. Okay, this looks terrible. I think my faces are better when I'm not focusing on it. No, this is just me. I'm like, I'm trying to draw, like, create, a design for Crony. Not, she didn't ask, it's just a fan art, but I'm trying to, like, there's a piece I want to make, but I wanted to try something that an artist, recommended a while ago, is to design the character that you want to put in a composition first. So there's a clothing, or like you want to make like a big piece, design the character first. So you're not trying to like guess the clothing or like the design itself as you're making it. Which artists like lack, for example, they don't need to do that. Like, dude just jumps in and he's just like, I'm gonna design the fuck out of this art, this canvas, and he does. He just goes. But I just want to try, like, I just like experimenting with things, and I think it would be fun to like just reimagine her and then like do the piece with the reimagined character. Not that she's gonna care, but for someone that's like a Fire Emblem fan, I think that might be cool. I will probably on my own time worry about making the face look better, because at this point I'm like grasping at straws here. Listen, when I draw something, I will spend about 40% of my time on a drawing is just the face. Like I will not stop until I get it right. It's it's I can't like faces is the one thing I like always want to absolutely nail right. Some people don't care. Some people are like, I'll get the rest of the body okay. I care too much about getting the face right. And you know, if you know my work, this isn't really exemplary. This is just like my brain probably like powering down. Whatever. I'm just here to chill. I think I need to. Yeah, I don't want to zoom out because it's like if I zoom out, it's not gonna. Oh, it's fucking Friday. Shit. Technically Friday night or Friday morning? I don't know. Well, it's the first thing you're looking at. Your eyes are immediately gonna like go to the face. And yeah, I think I mean for what I'm doing right now, it's that this doesn't. I say it doesn't matter, but I like, you know. Sometimes like when you're stuck like I am, it's always better to just like, yeah, I'll look at it later. It's better to move on. So her face is okay. I'm gonna. There you go. What I can do here is extend this a little bit this way. That's fuck. I think I know what the issue is. See, I'm moving to something else. Okay. Yeah, there's something proportionally wrong. Here. I'm gonna not do that. her legs feel too short. He feels like a child a little bit, so I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna grab the legs, just make her make it a little longer. Make this a little longer. And again, I don't like this fucking hand position a lot. It feels like a weird cop out. Here, I'm gonna fucking fix this. Yeah, I feel much better with the hand like this, honestly. Yeah, okay. Now things are shaping up a little bit. Here we go. Yeah, the hands are pretty small. I will fix this now. I feel like it would have been better if I just didn't have the reference there, because then I would have just been like, okay, well, this is weird, this is weird. And it would have been easier for me to fix. This foot is fucking with me so bad. Okay. I don't know if I should do her as a Fire Emblem, Tokyo Mirage session character, or, well, I mean, in that case, it would just be her, because she already has like that specific Fire Emblem tone in her design, or at least a Fate tone. If I were to do Fire Emblem like Tokyo Mirage, there don't want to be very much difference. I would just have to draw Tharja on the back or something like that. I think if I draw her as like a classical character, like a classic looking character, that would be better. Whatever. Don't think about it. I could have used a 3D model like a while ago, but the feet still feel small. I feel like they could be a little bigger. I don't like feet. Oh, not that big. It's enough to feel like they're part of her body. Yeah, I'll worry about fixing the anatomy later. I'm just gonna do the rest. Okay. There we go. And then this. Okay. Just one final thing. Move this a little higher. Whoa, not. That looked weird. And just slightly bigger. There we go. It's too big. Okay. All right. Let's draw the Opie. She's pretty big. So let's just do that. Actually, I could move this out a little more. And that will feel better, I think. I'm boring the fuck out of you guys, probably. Because I'm like too obsessed with just looking at it. It's like, okay, is this right? But it is the process of just making shit. It's just like how I will like hyper focus on something or just not like work myself until I get it right. Which isn't usually the smartest way to do things. Sometimes it's just better to like leave it and then come back or look at a reference, but I just want to get it right. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I mean, this kind of feels okay. Okay. Yeah, this might be a little better to. I don't know. I could probably go bigger. Like I'll probably like test a little bigger than what it normally is. But for the purposes of this, I'm just gonna. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. I guess it. Oh man. I guess I should have just like relaxed a little bit and just not cared much. But I haven't been doing full figure or full pulses in a bit, so this combobulated me a little bit. I need to sit down and just like look at full figures or like start using the 3D poses more. It's crying like. Never mind. you go. Okay. Let's draw her hair. This will be a piece of cake. I'm gonna push her down so that way I have space. I don't know why I've been like keeping that specific reference. Okay. I don't know if you guys could hear that crack, but I just cracked my shoulder. I felt pretty good. I need to, oh my god, my posture. And I also need to drink water. Still, that red hot might be tricky to determine some proportions of thick thighs. I mean, what I'm doing here, again, part of like why I shouldn't be stressing so much about this is that this is not, proportionally, I might not even keep like the way that she is now. Maybe at the final drawing, she's gonna have boobs that are like this size or whatever. I don't know. I might do something that's a little bit more comfortable for her to like look at, even though I'm not really sure what her preferences are. I think I just want to like push the boundary a little bit, but not too much. Maybe something you'd find in a Fire Emblem game or whatever. Yeah, again, this just has to be simple. And I want to give it my own touch. I don't just want to copy with what like her design is. Like I'm looking at this and I'm like, no, there's a little touches I could give it that might make it fan art, but also like wholly unique to me. Or like add like a little bit of flair that you would see on some of my other stuff. Can I interest you in a head pat? Sorry. I meant to do a totally different voice, and that was the worst crack I've ever had in my life. Yes, I would. Oh, I think I was going for like a Bugs Bunny. If you've ever seen that clip, look it up on YouTube. I think it's like if you just type really, it's bound to come up. Here it goes. It's maybe a little too close. Dear Lord, can I interest you in a headpad during these trying times? Izmir. I want to do like those Skyrim voices. Skyrim belongs to the Nords. Speaking of Skyrim, like, for those of you that have played, do most people... I always pick the Empire. This makes more sense. Do most people just side with Ulfric, or are most people like, yeah, no, Ulfric's a cunt? Stop, you've broken the law. Stop. You've broken the law. All your stolen goods are now forfeit. What if, like... Let me guess, someone stole your sweet roll. What if like one of those guards just come up to you, like they're about to arrest you, and it's just like a smooth voice? All your stolen goods are now forfeit. It's just like like what would you do? Would you like just surrender? Guards ASMR. I can look away. Pay the fine. Or whatever. I'm gonna take all your I'm gonna take all your stolen goods now. And you're not gonna resist. Why are you resisting, Dragonborn? But Ross asked if you could please surrender your stolen good. I feel like a lot of the why am I like still fucking drawing this? Like, doesn't have to be like, yeah, it's just this. What am I doing? This is just Nero. Come on, relax. Okay, I need to just speed it up. I'm like wasting too much time. It's 12:30. I need to like at least get something done. Boku no kachi da. All right. Okay. All right. Now comes this part. Yeah, this is like... Boku no kachi da ze. She's got the Sephiroth wings in the front. The funny thing is, like, I didn't know she's never played like a Final Fantasy game. It was just really funny to hear, and then the chat losing their minds. Like, I know a lot of people that just have never played a Final Fantasy game, but it's just weird to hear when you see like a streamer and just like, yeah, I've just never played it, and you're just like, huh. This doesn't happen often. As much as I love, I think she said she would play one, and as much as I love 7, I feel like she would get a kick more. She would get a kick more out of. I want to say 6. Not even 6. I think 9 she would like more. Nine is cool. And it's a lot more chill. To be fair, Final Fantasy is longer at each release. I think 9 is good. The problem with 7 is that 7, if you've never gotten into Final Fantasy, 7 is my favorite one. You can argue if it's overrated, whatever. That's your prerogative. But I think 7 is just more, has kind of like a higher bar of entry, in my opinion, because it's very Final Fantasy. While while 9 is a fun adventure. Like it's more in line with like a fun adventure, and it's easier for people. I think it's just a better point of entry. And like, if she wants to continue, I think she could just move on to the other ones. But again, that's just what I think. It's just what I think. This is not that complicated. She just has like these wings on the front on her head. Kingdom Hearts 2 is what got me into Final Fantasy. Yeah, I mean, Kingdom Hearts is also a very good point of entry, but I think that you're not gonna like. I don't know how to explain it, but like, if you're gonna get into yeah, I guess Kingdom Hearts is a good point of entry, but it's not like you're not getting the full Final Fantasy experience, because I feel like Kingdom Hearts, it's like its own brand, so to speak. It's like its own thing. There are Final Fantasy characters on it, but she's like, if she's never played Kingdom Hearts, then she's not gonna. It's just gonna be like, okay, well, there's a guy with the. Oh, hey guys, there's a guy with this like gunblade. You cut, then you shoot. But she's not gonna like. It's not gonna be like, you're not gonna have like that, like, oh fuck, it's Squall, you know. Kingdom Hearts is more like, it's more fun if you've played at least 2 or 3 of the titles that are in there, because it's exactly why 3 sucks, because there's no Square characters. Because apparently Nomura smoked crack, and he's just like, yeah, and Disney was like, yeah, we can't have your characters overshadowing Mickey Mouse property, so. You know what would be a good like sponsorship stream? I'm gonna go back to Taco Bell, because it all comes back. You have a good time, but what does that lead to? Well, back to me, back to Taco Bell. Yeah, he fucking circled back. I remember reading the Jimmy and wondering who each of the characters were. Yeah, no, when they are in there, it's fun, but it's like I hated Kingdom Hearts. Like, I feel that the people that like Kingdom Hearts 3 did not like Kingdom Hearts, are not really fans of the Kingdom Hearts series. Because Kingdom Hearts 3 is such a departure, and it's such a fuck you to fans of the series. Because, for one, it's a collaboration between Square and Kingdom Hearts, something that would have never in any universe existed. And also, against all odds, came out a wonderful and fun story. And Kingdom Hearts 3 is just corporate slop. It's not done out of any love for the franchise. It's just done because, I mean, that's how I feel about it. Because it's not like whatever we got is not cool. It's pretty shit. I can't even begin. I could fucking make an entire stream just bitching about. But it's in the same, like, Kingdom Hearts 3. Is in many ways bad, in the same way that I think Xenoblade 3 is bad. They're not horrible in gameplay, they're boring in gameplay. Kingdom Hearts, yeah, for like a decade, but it's been like starts and stops because Nomura was working on Kingdom Hearts 15 until they kicked him out of the project because he was over ambitious. Or so the story goes. I feel like, I don't know, I mean, like, it's just like the entire story of Kingdom Hearts 3 was just pointless. Because they spend the first half or most of the game retconning the previous games, or telling you the things that happened in the previous games and why Sora is underpowered again, even though you fucking like defeated Organization 13. But nope, Sora is weak. Oh my god, what are we to do? And like the reasonings they give is like pretty weak. It's just like they didn't know what to do. And it really much felt like we've been in development for so long, but we gotta get something out. So she looks like Squall, sorta. Alright, now we can... Nope, don't do that. Remember, clipping mask is your friend. Yeah, there we go. Sora is a Samus of his games. Gunblade tank, that would be fun. Well, here's the thing about Sora. In the first game, Sora doesn't technically get like powerful in the way that he does in Kingdom Hearts 2. Because Sora essentially in the first game like stumbles his way into victory because he almost loses. Like in the first game is like more dark than any of the other entries. Like Kingdom Hearts 1 is pretty dark. Sora almost fails. he was brought back. I mean, through the power of his love with Kairi, but he almost failed. Like Kairi almost failed. Like everybody, like the whole game was just a setup for you to like come back in the next games and take revenge. But towards the end, the game like gets really hype, and it does give you a sense of like I've discovered my power. I'm going to defeat the bad guys, and you do. But it's not like you're strong. And then you get the ending. You go through Chain of Memories, and then you get the Kingdom Hearts 2, which is easily the best game. It's probably one of the best games ever made, in my opinion. The story is great. It sets up all these awesome things, which they fuck up entirely, and they got more focused in making side games than actually developing the story. Like they try to make like this complicated narrative when it could have just been like something simple. And Nomura got too ambitious. It is the last Squaresoft game, and so you're like expecting all these awesome things to come out, but then you play like Birth, what is it, the PSP one, with Aqua. You play that game and you're like, oh, these are the Keyblade masters that they were talking so much about, and you're like hyped because you discover the origins of Terra or like Xehanort and stuff, and all that stuff is dope. But then they stumbled out, because then they're like, oh, that's not the real Xehanort. And then they start adding like these things that were super unnecessary, trying to make the story deeper than it just needs to be. And it in my sense, Kingdom Hearts just stopped when 2 came out, and the game ended in a cliffhanger many years later. That's it. That's the way I'll take it, because I don't know, and like Sora's story was supposed to stop in 3, but it didn't. It keeps going. Just let the kid get laid and make a family with Kairi. Just let him go. Just make Final Fantasy Versus. Let Nomura make that game and just get it out of his system, because he's been wanting to make that game and he just can't make it, and he's so desperate that he's willing to compromise like that Sora's happiness. Like, you don't understand. Sora's like, as much as I don't like the side games and all the stupid side content that they've made for Kingdom Hearts, it's always at the expense of Sora. And that guy is always like one thing after the other. Just let him, like, leave him alone. Fucking grab Riku, do something with him. I don't know, like, just like it was such a gut punch to like get to the ending of 3, which, by the way, I didn't give a fuck to, like, I didn't even finish it. I didn't care. But it was such a gut punch to like see the ending of 3, and it's just like, oh yeah, by the way, Kairi and Sora don't end together, and you're just like, what? I'm sorry. Yeah, Sora, quote unquote, sacrifice himself to save like Kairi. It's like, oh, fuck you. You're gonna drag this on. This is just Game of Thrones all over again. Like, it was the end of Sora's story for 10 years, and when we get to it, it's not his end. It's I don't know. And I'm still pissed that there weren't Final Fantasy characters in Kingdom Hearts 3, because now they're introducing, they're like putting, like, understand what they're doing, right? Where I think Kingdom Hearts is moving away from the Disney IP because Disney is proving to be a massive pain in the ass. So what I'm assuming is going to happen is that they're going to use Sora as like a vehicle to move Kingdom Hearts into a different like universe, and that's going to be Versus, or they're just going to keep using the Kingdom Hearts title because they probably have ownership of it, and then they're just going to be like, yeah, this is Kingdom Hearts, but not, we're not going to add any Final Fantasy characters. That's my theory. But I don't work at Disney. I don't work at Buena Vista or at Square. These are informations I don't have. And if I had the informations, I would dispense them appropriately, but this is all conjecture. I don't really know what these guys are thinking. I'm sure like they're thinking out of their ass, but I mean, it's kind of how Pixar just decides to make more Toy Story. Yeah. But I think Pixar's just fucked. Because the last Toy Story didn't really make that much money. And nobody really cared. Zoomers and younger kids just don't care about Toy Story. And it's not because they haven't been introduced to Toy Story. It's just like, they didn't grow up with Toy Story. Younger kids are not going to care about sequels. And people my age and older just don't care about Toy Story anymore. Because we already cried at Toy Story 3. We already grew up with Andy. We're not gonna, we're not gonna fucking see more of that we don't want to see more of it. The story concluded in episode 3. Based on the interviews in the Final Fantasy, Nomura is a tame one when it comes to stories. It seems that people around... No... it's not, it's him. They had to take, I might be misremembering, but they took him out of Final Fantasy 15 because the scope of the project was getting too large because of him. Either he was saying yes to everything, or he was inputting too many ideas and no one around him was telling him no. That's what I remember reading years ago when that game came out. And it's not like I hate the guy. I do respect him a lot, but it's also like I can see through the thinly veiled bullshit. Like Kingdom Hearts 3 is all him. And I will never forgive him for that. Also, Final Fantasy VII Remake, good game, but the story is kind of shit. It starts out good, but then he fucking, I don't know, how I feel about, the new elements that they introduce and stuff. And it's not even, I'm not talking about gameplay. The gameplay is fun. I'm talking about, the story elements. The guy keeps wanting to make things grander than they need to be. Just don't just make a concise story. No, it's not even because the PlayStation couldn't handle it. It was more that financially the project was becoming a disaster because he kept adding more shit and he kept extending. The second half was just going to be more of the first half, open world or whatever, and it turned into a hallway. But if he had not made the scope so large, it would have been just fine. I don't know, because Final Fantasy 15, I love the game. It's great. It's a really fun game. The first half is awesome. Second half kind of like eats shit, but it's not like as horrible as people think it is. It's just not good, but it's not terrible. Story wise, like it's pretty okay, especially considering the only previous Final Fantasy was the MMO, and while the MMO Final Fantasy 14 is the best Final Fantasy game, it's also an MMO. 13 was like the last one, and 13 was just dog shit. It was Nojima who wanted to do the whole rewriting the timeline plot remake. Nomura wanted to do strictly one-on-one remake, but ended up... I would have just stuck to my guns then. Then I stand corrected. I would have stuck with my guns and just been like, no, let's do a one-on-one remake. I didn't like the timeline thing. I thought it was just the worst. Because it's like, it doesn't make any narrative sense. And the worst part is that you fight Sephiroth at the end. You fight the end boss of the entire series in the first installment. Why? What we like? Who? How? Like the entire thing, we did not need this epic boss fight at the end. I hated the ending. I hated the ending. Like I understood what they were going for, which is like the merging of timelines, but I hated it because it's like it was this marble garbage of like just pure slop, and then you get like you already fought the end boss. Like what is there, like who the fuck is going to be the end boss of the next installment? Why? It did not need to be like they fucking blew their load on the whole alternate timelines right in the first installment when it could have been hinted at, and you could start guessing, making theories, and then in the second game you can start seeing differences and you're like, wait, something's not right. Is it because like they didn't want to do a one-to-one, or like, and you start seeing like different theories on like no, they would have had to hire someone that knows how to write shit. And now that I have you here, listening to me rant about games, I do want to like it's okay. I mentioned earlier, like before they don't fucking do that. Honestly, I really don't mind it too much, but I like it's no, just because. Okay, here's the thing: overly complicated doesn't mean bad or good. It's how you handle it. One of my favorite games ever made, or like one of my favorite games, is Xenosaga 3. And Xenosaga in itself is complicated as fuck. It's one of the most complicated stories to get into, because like even like the creators can make heads or tails of it. But it is very complicated, but it is a lot of fun to like try to understand and try to figure out. It's just tell a concise story and let people fill in the gaps. You don't have to like. Again, my problem with the game is that it didn't really know how to structure itself, in the sense that it's just trying to get to the entire game. It's just trying to get to the point of telling you, hey, different timelines, this is a different story, when it could have just been sparkled throughout, where you're theorizing, trying to understand, and then you get the reveal where it's like, oh, it's a different timeline, or like the timelines are converging and we're getting all these things, and like you're getting to that realization, and it makes it more interesting. But you just get this coupon shot, property of Red Letter Media, but you get a gift certificate thrown at you, and you're just like, okay. And we get this like epic final battle, and it's bad. It's super epic and stuff, and it's just like, yeah, but it wasn't the first game wasn't like this, and like you're not in like a 3-act structure. You're not gonna have, you know, your epic boss fight right at the ending of the first act. That's just not how you do stories. You don't have this like epic overblown boss fight. Because they defeated Sephiroth, that means like, okay, well, there's no room to grow. We're powerful. It's like in Star Wars, if like in The Empire Strikes Back, Luke just kills Darth Vader, and it's just like he has like a fight with Darth Vader, and or no, not even, with Sidious, and he defeats him, and then all there's left is Darth Vader. Yeah, but he already fucking defeated the Emperor, and he was more powerful than Darth Vader. So what the fuck is Vader's just gonna run away, and he's just gonna yep, I'm good now, or something, I don't know. It just feels like whatever. I'm getting mad over nothing. I just want one game that I really hate, or I just really don't like at all. So much so that I want to play its DLC, but it's taking so much out of my will to like try and play it. Is Xenosaga 3, which I think it's one of the worst things ever made. Not in gameplay. In gameplay, it's fine. It's just a side grade or like a downgrade to Torna. Torna perfected the combat, and they just went a few steps back with Xenoblade 3. I just think that game is just bad. Because the entire game is pointless. It didn't need to exist. Xenoblade 3, it literally serves no purpose. Like if you beat it, there's no purpose. The entire story is pointless. And if you liked it, you don't understand how stories work. I don't like Xenoblade 3. I think it's just objectively a bad story, because it's trying too hard to be this fake deep with like, oh, the morality of things, but it's like you complete the game and like there's no sense of accomplishment, because the game is right back where like it quote unquote started. Xenoblade 3 should have been the DLC. That should have been it. Not this like fake deep garbage where it's like, oh, we're dying, and like, who the fuck cares? They're gonna be revived again. When they revealed that people get revived and they're like in this constant state of like living and dying, and they're remembering stuff, like from a concept standpoint, interesting, but it's also not like, if this was like a different game and not Xenoblade 3, and there were major implications of like there is someone that is actually pulling the strings, then yes, this would be awesome. But for a Xenoblade game, when they tell you that the guy is just a concept that people don't want time to continue, or they're afraid of what's going to happen when both worlds collide. It's like, what the fuck? Really? That's the main villain? Seriously? A concept of people that are wah, I don't want the worlds to merge? What a joke. What a sick joke. Because again, like, a lot of these concepts in theory, nice, but in execution, poorly handled. And whatever. I think the main antagonist of my opponent. Yeah, I get it, but it's also like, it would have been, listen, what, you know what would have been more interesting? That both worlds merge and both worlds are fighting each other. Maybe because the resources are finite or whatever, and then you're the, which I thought is what it was gonna be, that these two worlds are merged, and these kingdoms are trying to fight each other, or like something more interesting. But this is like, oh, the worlds don't want to merge because it's this. What it's, the entire point of Xenoblade 3 is just to get you to the DLC. Because nothing that you do in Xenoblade 3 matters. You're pretty much just spending the plot to get time moving. Also, seriously, what the fuck? You ended the whole with a whole new world in Xenoblade Chronicles 3. We get a spiritual limbo and explore none of it. Xenoblade 3 is 2.5, and yet people are happy with this. No, it's bad. It's bad. They merged it, but it was imperfect. At the end, I see the worlds remerge, but I guess in a health. That's what I'm saying. Like, it would have been much better if you have this conflict that the world is merged. It's the world is merged. Like 2.5 should have been like a middle game, like a short experience, and then Xenoblade 3 should, like, the DLC should have been the main game, and they could have expanded on it, even if it's filled with fluff. But it would have been much more interesting because you get to play with characters that you give a shit. Noah is the worst protagonist. He has no motivation. He's just like this fucking like soggy cracker. Like, I hate him. He pretends like there's no character development for him. I just don't like it. They add this fake character development, but his evil side has more character development. And I would have much rather played as the evil version, thinking that you're doing good, but what you're doing is not good. And then you have that realization mid-game, and you try to course correct or whatever. That would have been much more interesting. But you get this like bland main character. Like, I feel like Noah was just a retort to the hate that Rex got, but I like Rex better than I like Noah, because at least Rex has a personality, and he has like a little bit of character growth, even though he's just meant to be like a showed up protagonist. And I spend most of my stream just doing this. It was 100%, 180 shift for the prototype. I just dislike them. Because the entire time, Noah was like, oh, this is the good thing that people are supposed to do. He was like a fucking robot. There was nothing to it. So hold on, let me check. Her arm is, but the forearm is shorter. Yeah, this needs to be longer. Everyone hated him because he was a kid, but honestly, he had more weight potential. Bro, he became a Chad. Listen, I think the most insulting thing is that for years we were waiting for the Shulk and Rex meetup and seeing like the characters that are good meet up again, and then we get an entire slop of a game, and then they're like, oh, the DLC, this is what you want, this is what you care about. They literally sold us a $60 game just to sell us a $30 season pass. Boy said I love you alls and meant it. Yeah. Like people played Noah, and I think a lot of people were like, oh man, I miss Rex. That's how I felt. Like I replayed a little bit of Xenoblade 2, and I was like, yeah, I like this game a lot more. And again, for all its faults, Xenoblade 2 knows what it is, and it's pretty charming because it's not like, it gets serious towards the end, but it's like you're along for the ride. It's not, listen, nothing is Xenoblade 1, nothing, but Xenoblade 2 has its own charm. Xenoblade 3 doesn't know what it wants to be. It's just this bland hypocrisy of the game. But that's just me. I'm gonna cheat a little bit, 'cause I just don't. Yeah, that's my problem. It's this fake deep bullshit where it's like, oh, teens are dying, but it's not like that deep, because the thing is, at the start, you're kind of like under, like at this, like once the game started, I was like into it, right? But once they revealed that they're just, it's a cycle and they just keep coming back, it started like, it was getting interesting, but then I started like, there's something that's not right. Something's not right. And then they reveal like, yeah, none of it matters because it's just a time loop. It doesn't matter if they come back or whatever, they're just gonna die again, and like whether they keep their memories or not, it does not matter. And you're just like, oh my god, because like once you fix it, it's not gonna matter. All of this that happened, nobody's gonna remember it. I think the best part. Yeah, that's cute. I still think like for some reason like these don't quite line up. Whatever. I'll probably just make some design of my own tomorrow or something like that for warm up. Alright, well, let's see. I'm gonna start adding black with this. I mean, her face isn't totally bad. I could use a little bit of fixing here. I can do this. Let's see if for this actually, I can do this. I think there's something here that I need to. Alright. Oh. Yeah, I think for warm-up, I will try to design something for whatever, but let me see. Because here's some of the ideas that I was taking, like, what I was thinking of her as a unit was like a refresher. So maybe like, because she's like a, what is it, like Mother Time or something? Or like a celestial time being or whatever. I'm not sure on the details. She could be like a time mage of sorts, and her skill is just a refresher. I feel like it's a lot of people fail to mention the Last of Us 2 was bad, but Nadia kept hammering on how brutal it is and how bad they want it. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. Like, they want to chastise you for the choices that your character made at the ending, but it's like time-worn abilities, alright? Yeah, so like she would be like a refresher unit. But I don't know. I wonder if like I could ask her somehow and be like, hey, if you could be like a unit at Fire Emblem, what would you want to be? I'm sure that's been asked before, but I'm trying to think of something like creative, because she could be like a refresher unit. I feel like a sage would fit her well, but it's too like she has weapons, so or I mean, I'm not sure what they are. She is kind of like Nero, so like a knight. So maybe like a paladin or something. She could easily be a DPS. But I want to come out, I want to design like an outfit that is resembling this, right? Or like it uses the like design elements from here, but then it's combined with, don't they look like thief weapons? I think, right? But I think she's supposed to be fast, because technically anything that's time goes fast. Again, I'm not like super well versed in her lore. I might have to, but it's like, it's also like a character. Like what I usually like don't just want to be like, oh, just because her character's supposed to, like, what appeals to her specifically? Like, even if it doesn't have to do anything with what her character is supposed to be, it's just like, oh, I thought it would be cool if I was just like a Pegasus Knight. Yeah, sure. I don't know. I'm maybe rambling nonsense. I think what we can do here, right before I close the stream, is just define. I'll try to like think of two. So, I think. Oh man, I just remember. I was gonna say like it would be fun to draw her as a Pegasus Knight, but that's gonna get me in so much trouble because of that like one like meme with, you know, them and horses, and it's just like, oh yeah, I don't know if like that's the best thing to do, making her a cavalry unit. Unless she has a sense of humor about it, then maybe it's not that big of a deal. But I don't want to put her in. I don't want to bring it like. I don't want to create a problem. Because I know Callie fucking hates it. I need to. These feel a little more natural now. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right. So on the docket, I'm just gonna write the ideas. On the docket, where is this? It's like 1:30, and I've been up since 6:30 in the morning. I sleep about 5 to 6 hours, and not because like of anything. It's just I have an internal clock that is just. So listen, I think Pegasus Knight would be really fun for her, but it might get me in trouble. But I'm gonna put it here. Pegasus Knight. Yeah, there's like a meme with like her and Callie and horses. Like I don't want to create a problem, but I love Pegasus Knights. They're so cool. Refresher unit. Maybe a sort unit of a type. Sort unit. Yeah, I think these two would work. These three might work. I need to look up stuff. Yeah, but I'm sorry I didn't like get to actually design something, and I spent most of my time just rambling nonsense and getting like a somewhat mediocre anatomy, right? But I hope at least it was a chill time. But it is very late, and I am very sleepy. So I will I can't even say it, like I'm gonna go to sleep. So thank you guys for hanging out. I hope you guys took something out of it today. Tomorrow we're gonna do sorcery, hopefully. Appreciate it. I'm gonna stream sorcery tomorrow. I don't know what time. Hopefully at a reasonable time. And try to stream for a little bit. If not tomorrow, Saturday, but I will try tomorrow. So good night, folks. I'm gonna walk you all out. Good night and have a wonderful sleep, or whatever.